feeling. You overdid it, Holmes. You in the danger zone. You shouldn't be alone. Hold hands and sing it.
Dante, what are you looking at?
Give me the ball.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What I use in a battle for the mind. Hit it hard like it's supposed. Pulling up balls to the nose like Uncle L said. I'm ripping up shows. 9. What I use in a battle for the mind. Hit it 9. What I use in a battle for the mind. Hit it hard like it's
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome, NBA fans. Ernie Johnson here with you again, and we've got Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, and we're all amped up for this early season game. Tonight, it'll be the Dallas Mavericks up against the Houston Rockets at Toyota Center. And for Houston, coming into this matchup with no shortage of confidence, they won all 4 games against this team last season. With the new year getting ramped up, teams just getting into the swing of things. Kenny, some major storylines already brewing. What are you seeing out there?
Well, you know, the rosters aren't coming together yet, and it's still early. It's still tough to figure it out. But then there's a lot of teams that's just off the radar right now, but they've been impressive. So I think that it's too early to tell. You know, too early to tell to give those ELNs.
Are you going to give me an answer?
I can't give you these ELNs, these Ernie-like numbers yet. It's too early.
Well, I see emerging young guns. You know, I see a couple of veterans now hitting the wall, physically getting up there in age. But I got to agree with Kenny, Ernie. It's too early to tell.
Jeez, I'm sorry I asked. Time to tip it off. Here's Kevin Harlan.
You asked too early.
Tell him sit down. Be humble. 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 Sit down.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting broadcast of the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by the talented analyst tandem of Greg Anthony and Chris Webber. David Aldridge is on our sideline. Here in Houston, the rival Mavericks come in looking for a win. They come off the loss on Friday.
You know, a poor shooting night. I just got the sense they didn't work hard enough to get good looks.
Or selfishness. I mean, this is what happens when you don't make the extra pass. Your field goal percentage can go south.
And David Aldridge is standing by for our pregame report. David, good evening.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, the Rockets made the big move last season, putting James Harden in at point guard. Harden said, "It shocked me at first, but I thought about it, and I'm a passer. That's what I do." Coach Mike D'Antoni says he's one of the best pick-and-roll guys I've seen. He's a terrific passer, not just a good one. He's a terrific passer. Kevin, this is a guy who coached Steve Nash.
A bold move that has really paid off, D.A. Harden's efficiency at the point guard spot has been nothing short of impressive. And we're watching 2 very experienced veteran teams, Chris. We should be in for some high-level basketball.
Yeah, and just watch this game tonight. You're going to see coaches really trust their players. Coaches who do most of their coaching in practice and then trust the IQ of their players. Won't be a lot of play calling, a lot of free-flowing. Guys kind of knowing where to be on defense, a lot of communication on defense. This should be a fun one.
And it's the Mavericks to start out. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the floor for Dallas, Matthews and Barnes, the forward pair. Farrell is out there with Smith. And it's Nowitzki in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Here's Ariza. It's good. The assist that time from Harden.
Oh, Harden is so good at finding the open man and the selfish superstar who really whips the ball over quickly.
Smith dishes to Barnes. Lets it go from 11. The rebound by Anderson. On defense, the Mavericks. Kicks it out to Harden. Jacks up a 3. Smith with the defensive effort. And so here is Dallas. Feeds to Nowitzki. Passes it to Farrell. It's rebounded by Houston. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first meeting of the season.
And well, they swept the season series against them last year, making it pretty clear how much separation exists between the two teams.
And this is where it may be hard for them to get motivated for this matchup, maintain their focus, because they've been so dominant against these guys.
Here's a reason. After Wesley Matthews' score, and we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. Farrell can't hit. Houston's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. In the corner, it's Gordon. Harden against Smith. Back to Gordon. 5 on the clock. Lets it go from deep. Kept alive. Capella. Good work defensively by Nowitzki.
That's how you protect the rim. Stand your ground and make him alter his release.
In the corner, Smith with it. Drops in the tray. Smith's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And when you think about his ability now to knock down these outside shots, with all of his force at attacking the rim, he's going to become unguardable.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. And Chris, many thought that after the Rockets let Dwight Howard go, they would have a slight rebuilding phase. Turns out they were just reloading and were a surprise contender last season.
Well, they did sneak up on some teams with how well they played early on. Front office did a great job retooling the team, great coaching job. And now with Paul in the mix, they're one of the scariest teams, at least on paper, in the league.
The Mavericks shooting their first free throws of the game, and the first one drops. And so he hits both. And for the Mavericks, clearly the rebuild, Greg, has begun.
Yeah, but they made good use of their picks. They brought in more youth and signed their building blocks. Franchise isn't used to rebuilding, but they are approaching it, I think, the right way.
Here's Smith. James Harden picking up that last basket. Here's the screen. Here's Smith. Dallas again missing.
You can't be missing shots like that in the post. That'll get you a spot on the bench.
By himself, and Smith with the stuff.
And how about the speed there by Smith? He can intimidate you, not just with the athleticism, quickness in the open floor.
And that replay presented by Under Armour, showing us the fantastic steal that led to that fast break finish. Another unleashed chaos moment.
Not a very consistent quarter for him in terms of a shooting.
Nowitzki a screen to the paint and stolen by Ariza. And it's Houston on the break. Harden's got the ball, and Harden with the stuff.
I mean, look at those big mitts of Ariza. I mean, they just can't be forgotten. Using to paw away the ball and create chances for his team.
Here's Farrell. 14 points from him the last game against Sacramento.
And he also drew a lot of fouls, forcing the defense to react to his aggressive style of play.
Now Harden. Harrison Barnes missing on the three. Capella with the bucket.
Even with the suffocating defense, Capella keeps his composure, sinking these interior looks rather effortless.
There's 1:54 left in the first quarter. Nowitzki a screen. Smith kicks to Matthews. Pass to Farrell. Over Gordon. Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting. Rockets trail by 3. Harden the pass to Capella. Over Nowitzki. And it's Capella missing. Dallas is gone. 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And Matthews kicks to Farrell. Nowitzki a screen. Smith on the wing. He's covered by Anderson. Nowitzki with the screen on Anderson. And that one drops. Timeout. That's 7 points for Dennis Smith.
They really like seeing Smith get it going from there. I mean, a polished offensive player who can get his shot off with ease.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. So many great point guards in this year's draft. Greg, what stands out to you about North Carolina State's Dennis Smith?
Well, I think he's the best athlete of them all. A terror off the bounce, great toughness, and he's drawn some comparison to Stevie Francis when you talk about his bounce and physicality.
Nene, he's checked in for Houston. P.J. Tucker comes in for Anderson. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Measury, he's checked in for Nowitzki. Noel comes in for Barnes. Dorian Finney-Smith's checked in for Wesley Matthews. Correa subbed in for Farrell. 46 seconds left to play in the first quarter. There's a screen by Noel. Now here's Barea. Defense is right there. Noel, a screen on Harden. Steps back and fires. And there it is for him.
And not much breathing room there. The step back move gave him just enough to get it off.
Outside Gordon. Takes the three. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got 4 assists in the game.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Tipped away. Barea against Harden. Barea with a good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. The Mavericks on top, up by 1. We'll be back shortly live from Houston, Texas. And Dirk Nowitzki steadily climbing the all-time scoring rankings. He talked about the remarkable journey of his long and illustrious career.
When I first got here, my first year was so tough that I didn't really know that I can make it in this league. To be named with all these names is an unbelievable honor, and it's been a crazy ride.
Dirk has proven himself through the test of time. As tough as it may have been back in his rookie year, he overcame those obstacles to become this elite NBA player destined for the Hall of Fame.
And people do talk about players being a Dirk Nowitzki type. You're right about that. And that's a type any team would like to have. One of the greatest power forwards in the NBA's history.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And what do you think, guys, about Dallas here in this one?
I mean, what's interesting for me, first quarter, they're already getting points from their reserves.
Well, that's what helped fuel this lead. They caught the defense a little bit off guard.
Harden and Gordon teaming up in the backcourt. Luke Mbamute out there with Nene, and it's Tucker in at the 3 slot. That's the 5 for Houston right now. And Chris, the Sacramento teams you were on were so good at passing at every position. Just what is needed to build a kind of offense that does pass the ball like that, that's as fluid as that?
Well, 2 things. You have to have the offensive system, and then I think you have to have players with the skill set. You can't really be a good passer if you're not a good scorer, because everybody's just going to stay back off of you and deny their man. But when you're a pretty good scorer, everyone has to watch you just as much as they watch their man, because you're just as much of a threat with the ball as you are passing. So I would say there we had guys that really could move the ball, that really could shoot the ball, so they were a threat. And all they had to do was be kind of a decoy. Pump fake, attack the basket, draw another guy, and then pass it to a guy that's willing to shoot. Unselfishness is a big trait, too, that you have to have. Guys that like seeing their teammates score, guys that enjoy seeing their other players get involved into the game. That's really important.
Wow, what a great breakdown. Here's Nene. Mavericks with the rebound. Smith wide open. He fires. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
He had 1 3-pointer in the first, but still searching for that second.
And here's Harden for 3. The Rockets again can't hit. Dallas leading by 4 and keeping us updated from the sideline. Let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, Rick Carlisle is one of the most respected head coaches in the league, especially for his X's and O's. But Bucks coach Jason Kidd played for Carlisle, praised his disposition. He's never up and never down, Kidd said. There's no panic in him. He gives you that sense of security to go out there and make a play. Kevin?
Gotta love Coach Carlisle, D.A., an even-keel guy who places a lot of trust in his players.
And watching James Harden, the amount of shots he is able to create for himself and his teammates, he just does so much from his position that is unrivaled. One of the greatest offensive threats, not only today, but really of the last decade.
Powell, he's checked in for Dallas. Matthews comes in for Smith. Now here's Barea. There's a screen by Noel. Stolen by Harden. Out of bounds. Dallas will take possession. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Rockets.
And they really shied away from the mid-range. That's a new school style, and looking for shots beyond the arc and at the rim, those tend to be far more efficient.
Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. And the Mavericks making a change here. Barnes is checked in. There's Noel, and there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul called on the Houston Rockets. And for Harden, he's been in the conversation, Greg, for MVP for several years. The way he's able to just carry an offense with his creativity garners attention.
And Kevin, I think he might have won it last year if it wasn't for the amazing season put in by Russell Westbrook. Don't count Harden out, though. He's such a unique talent on offense. Maybe this will be his year to bring home that MVP award.
He'll be beating himself up if they can't come back because he is not carrying his weight at the offensive end.
Back to Barnes. 11 feet away, and he can't bank that one in. Rockets trail by 6. Kicks it out to Gordon. There's the 3. Dishes it to Harden. Outside Gordon. Beyond the arc. That's a bucket. His 3rd of the game. He shot the ball 7 times.
It's first triple of the second quarter, 3rd of the game.
Outside Matthews. Dallas, no good that time either.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
And Abamute kicks to Gordon. The pass to Capella. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. And it's now only a 1-point Dallas lead. Well, you knew that the Rockets were going to be an offensive juggernaut with their roster and Mike D'Antoni at the helm. But seeing it in action is still jaw-dropping at times. I mean, you're amazed. They can put up a lot of points in a hurry.
Yeah, and the team plays at an incredibly high pace, which accounts for some of their big moments. But they do a good job of finding smart shots and making the most of their possessions. This team can truly be scary when they're clicking.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Man, this is a joke. I mean, there have been some glimpses of hope, but they've been few and far between.
Ariza's checked in for Houston. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Dallas. Yogi Ferrell comes in for J.J. Barea. Rockets trail by 3. It's Ariza on the wing. Over Barnes. Ariza no luck.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
Sometimes you get a little outside of yourself. You have to be a little more disciplined.
Here's Ferrell. Off target on the 15-footer. A 3-ball. Ariza with another miss. Dallas leading by 3. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's his 4th foul of the contest. Off the inbound. And he sinks the layup. Farrell's got his second basket of the night.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
A lot of times your defense is your offense is your defense. This is poor decision-making right here. You can't let them have that shot. Also might have been a lack of effort.
And I'll tell you what, age ain't nothing but a number when you talk about the impact of Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, with his size and shooting touch, he creates so many openings for himself and his teammates offensively.
1:02 left in the first half. Harden outside. Outside Gordon. Puts up a three. A shot off that time. Good D by Matthews. And Nowitzki's turnaround, an unblockable shot when he's hitting. Greg, he's unguardable.
And even though he's lost a little lift in the left.
Capella is just fantastic at dunking at home, leaving no mistake on these kinds of chances near the hoop.
They play the clock right, they can go 2 for 1.
Just got to time it up right.
Farrell passes to Nowitzki. Farrell kicks to Barnes. Powell with the screen. Barnes can't get it to go.
Allowing no space for the shooter to get comfortable. Just terrific defense.
Yeah, that won't go on the stat sheet. Close to getting the block, but really had the same effect.
All the officials are all over that one.
Houston shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night.
And Harden was the runner-up for the MVP award in 2015, a dynamite player, and continues to excel in all aspects of the game. And as great of a free throw shooter as he is, it's still a part of his game. He works very hard at it.
Finney-Smith kicks to Nowitzki. Great look, but off the mark.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Mavericks lead by 3. And a chance now to send it up.
James, big first half for you. What was the most important thing that got you going?
Just trying to be aggressive, trying to get out early and give a little spark to my teammates. And they followed along. So, it's just a matter of us not turning the ball over and getting stops.
So far, so good. Thanks, James. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken,
as we break down the action. The first quarter for the Mavericks was fairly even. They were able to squeeze ahead by the end of the period with just a 1-point lead. They battled hard in the second quarter, and it was reflected on the scoreboard. And Kenny, what are your thoughts on how Dallas played?
Well, I thought that turning point was when the bench came in. Those guys really hustled, and they gave the team some energy, and then they started to score baskets. That was a bonus.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
Ernie, they're taking way too many threes. The offense has no rhythm. They need to go back to the drawing board. Maybe try to get a little bit more transition, more off the pick and roll. Anything other than shooting that three. It's not going.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
Welcome back to the Toyota Center, everyone. That's a look at our broadcast location tonight here in downtown Houston, Texas. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
And through the first 2 quarters, he was extremely aggressive. Picked up a number of steals.
Oh, well, you take some chances. Sometimes you can get burned, but you hope more often than not that you can be a catalyst for your team.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. For the Mavericks, 16 consecutive years of 500 basketball or better. Coming to an end last season, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, it was the beginning of a rebuild. The first time in a long time for the Mavs. And they waived some of their veterans to free up space and court time to further develop those young players. And with how competitive this organization is, that you know they'll do everything they can to get back in contention to try to send Dirk out on a high note.
Here's who Rick Carlisle is starting the second half with. Matthews and Barnes, the forward pair. Smith is out there with Farrell, and it's Nowitzki in at the 5, roaming the paint.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And Chris, it's a players' league, and yet the officials, of course, have an impact on games. I'm thinking of a certain Game 6 back in 2002. In your opinion, how does the league ensure greater consistency with the officiating of games?
Well, I promised myself, Kevin, thanks for bringing up 2002, that I would never think about that aloud. You know, I'm going to have to go lay on somebody's couch after we do this game right here. But I think the league just has to be transparent. They have to let fans know when the ref has messed up. We're all human, so I think it comes into play when you aren't transparent, when you aren't honest with your fans, because we have the smartest fans of any sport, I believe. And so I think transparency is good, but human error is always going to be in there as long as it doesn't go back to the type of human error we saw in 2002.
But Chris, I do sense that is a goal of theirs, and bit by bit they're getting toward that goal.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, I believe that our league has done some great jobs when it comes to advancing referees and how the game is officiated. When you look at, not only do we have the referee center back in New York, where the referees now can go and get help, and the game is faster, and also, you know, we have 3 refs on the floor, and so and we have the best conditioned refs, and so I think the game is just going to be better because we have passionate refs, we have passionate officials, and passionate players, and we're going to work together to make sure that this game is the best for every fan to be presented to, and also that every player has a chance to win a championship and don't have their heart broken.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Houston Rockets, one of the most explosive scoring teams in the league. Defense has been a shortcoming in the past. Coach Mike D'Antoni said, we have some good individual defenders. If the rest of them just try, well, that's the plan. Kevin?
Offense is what the Rockets are all about, D.A. You know that. Coach D'Antoni definitely focuses on this part of the game more than defense. Anderson outside. There's the 3. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got 6 assists here tonight.
Now, this is what I love, how Anderson is ready to shoot even before he gets the ball. His confidence is through the roof right now.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
From deep, Harden. Barnes grabs the miss. Mavericks leading by 3.
And Harrison Barnes, just a tremendous athlete at that small forward position. I think his strength enables him to guard up and hold his own against power forwards, and coaches love that versatility.
6 to shoot. Smith right side. Again, the miss by Smith.
Right, he has been cold for a while now.
And it's sad because the team relies on him to be a threat offensively. When he's rolling, that makes them a much more dynamic offense.
And some hang time on the rim. Puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling. And, Greg, you look at the versatility of Barnes. He can defend, I think, 3 positions.
And that's what the league is all about now. Switching on picks, much more popular. And with an all-around solid defender like Barnes, it doesn't uncover mismatches.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. Some changes here for the Mavericks. Nerlens Noel comes in for Yogi Ferrell. And Barea subbed in for Smith. Barea against Harden. Barea kicks to Barnes. Dallas, no good that time either.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
For the lead. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
Well, the D knows Anderson is always looking to get his shot off, which is why he's able to draw these type of fouls with the pump fake.
And Ryan Anderson perhaps personifies what it means to be a stretch four. He's 6'10". He came off the bench for 4 years in New Orleans. He's always been a great shooter, Chris, and was exactly what the Rockets were hoping he would be when they signed him.
Look, I know what Anderson was thinking. This is a match made in heaven. He was always a great offensive forward, but the system they use is just perfect for him.
Rockets trail by 3. Gordon inside. He's covered by Matthews. And the rejection by Noel. And there's the call on the net. That'll be his second foul of the game. And the Rockets making a change here. Tucker's checked in. And then for Dallas, Mejri comes in for Dwight Powell. And Dorian Finney-Smith subbed in for Barnes. Back to Barea. Outside Matthews. Noel, Skrina, and Ba'amute. 6 on the shot clock. Ba'amute with the steal. Anderson dishes to Harden. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Harden's got 15 points.
I mean, and just think about it, Kevin. With Harden, he can score from just about anywhere, even the locker room. I mean, when he's scoring from a number of spots, the D is in for a long day.
Wesley Matthews on the wing. Got a piece of it, and there's the call on Nene. That's his third foul of the game. Harden against Barea. Clock at 6. Finney-Smith kicks to Mejri. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
Trevor Ariza's checked in for Ryan Anderson. For Dallas, they have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8. And that one falls for Mejri.
Well, it had been a little bit of a bumpy ride for Mike D'Antoni before coming to Houston. He had underwhelming results in New York and LA before taking time off from coaching, but he's found great success since coming back with the Rockets.
Stolen by Harden, and it's the Rockets on the break. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
Sounds good.
And when the Rockets hired Mike D'Antoni, there wasn't a lot of fanfare. But this has turned out to be one of the best fits in his coaching career. In fact, he was the NBA Coach of the Year last season.
Yeah, you never know how a coach will mesh with the team, and D'Antoni has fit in perfectly here. He made some changes early on and has the Rockets as a great offensive powerhouse. Even has the team playing some defense. I mean, something his teams have never been known for.
Dallas moving it around. 5 on the clock. Here's Matthews. Hits the front of the rim and out.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Well, not all defenses are constructed to protect the mid-range area. Nicely done that time.
There's 39 seconds left to play in the third. Knocked away. Ariza passes to Tucker, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
Yeah, and he reads it all the way, has that slide court awareness you have to be mindful of.
With some arc, and Barea with the weigh-in.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
Harden outside. Here is Mbamute. And a miss there on the triple. with 1 on the clock, and they call over the back here. Too much contact.
And trying to be the first one to get his hands on the miss. Instead, he's called for over the back.
There's nothing malicious about that play. Just isn't in a good spot and can't recover.
For Houston, they have gone 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, and fairly decent a season ago, about 77% from the line.
Both free throws good from Tucker. James Harden getting it done for Houston. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. Back to the action after this word. Rick Carlisle had some words for his team. Let's hear what he had to say.
It's not always going to be perfect, right? Sometimes we got to scramble and work it out. Got to keep our aggression up.
You heard Rick Carlisle not looking to make it a pretty game. All he cares about is the results.
And that does often come from hustle. I mean, from pushing the action. We'll see how it plays out.
And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. They've got Trevor Ariza. Nene is out there with P.J. Tucker. Then it's Mbamute. And it's Harden in at the point guard position. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Houston. Dallas also making some changes. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Measury. And Yogi Ferrell subbed in for J.J. Barea. Smith against Harden. And Capella sends it back. They recover it. Stolen by Tucker. He dishes it to Capella. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Dirk Nowitzki picks up that one. And one reason why the Rockets were okay with letting Dwight Howard leave was because they knew that Clint Capella could fill that role. He quietly gives this team that finisher down in the block. And he has been absolutely, Chris, huge for the Rockets.
Oh, yeah, maybe the best in the league at finishing off lobs last year. Not the most spectacular, but the most consistent last year on that pick and roll because he's so active without the ball. Always moving, giving guards a target. Great hands to catch and finish.
The Rockets making a switch here. Gordon's checked in. Barnes, he's checked in for the Mavericks. It's stolen by Ariza. That's a 2 from Gordon. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Harden's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. And here are the Mavericks now. There's a screen by Noel. Ferrell kicks to Barnes. That one falls.
He's feeling it this half. Total turnaround after a rough first half.
The dish to Capella. And stolen by Nowitzki. Here's Barnes, and it's Barnes slamming it down.
And this is what you love about the game. Superb defense, great steal, and just like that, they add 2 points to this narrow lead.
And Capella is very efficient down deep, using his muscle to get off the shots he wants inside.
Smith against Harden. Barnes outside. Over Ariza. Here's Nowitzki. That shot misses. Good work defensively by Capella. Ariza dishes to Harden. Over Smith. At the top of the key, Gordon. And another make to his scoring column. His 5th basket of the game. Now shooting 5 of 11.
That lightning quick release. Gordon catching and firing perfectly. Can't guard that.
Ferrell passes to Smith. And that one drops.
Timeout, timeout.
Smith's got 5 points in the quarter.
And all quarter long, he's been zeroed in and knocks down big shot after big shot here in the fourth.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
And the Mavericks looking to go young now around Nowitzki. Unsurprisingly, they've already found some intriguing young prospects.
changing it up here. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Mike D'Antoni was talking about with his team. He told them, hey, guys, this is a close game, but if we execute right here, I like our chances. There's no need for hero ball. Trust one another. Make the simple play. Kevin, back to you.
Here's Capella, and the dunk by Capella. And that's a double-double for him now. 10 points and 10 rebounds.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. Smith outside. We're in the final quarter of play here, 3 minutes in. Nowitzki sets a screen for Matthews. His three-pointers off the mark. Rockets have gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter so far. To take the lead, and the layup is good. Capella's got the lead up to 2 now for the Rockets.
Not everything fell for them in that first half, and now it looks like they're beginning to hit their stride.
Brown against Smith. It's stolen by Brown. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
They get it again. Tries again, and it's blocked by Brown. One-on-one here. Here's Tucker. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. And he knocks down the first one. Both free throws good from Tucker. Mavericks trail by 4. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Nowitzki, and Capella sends it back. Back to Anderson. Pass to Brown. It's taken away by Smith. Pass break, Dallas. Stops, pops, misses off the right angle.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
I'd love to hear his explanation of Coach right there. I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
And you talk about clutch plays, I mean, defensively and offensively, and we saw it right there.
Tucker can't get it to go.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Well, that takes physical ability, good timing, those two things. That
come on. Did you see that? Did you see that? Oh, he got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open. That Unleash Chaos Under Armour replay really giving us a good look at the action. Here's Nowitzki, buried from 15 feet out.
Perfect execution. The size mismatch was there, and they went right at it.
Give the assist to the coach that play. He called it. That's great patience by the offense right there. They took their time, got on the ball right where he wanted.
Now a timeout called by Houston. They're leading by 2. There's a minute left to play in the final quarter. We've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, James Harden.
He's really built up that assist total over the course of this game. And it's a great thing to have that kind of passing coming from a position other than the point. That ensures the ball will always be moving and nobody will be left out of the offense.
The Rockets making a switch here. There's a minute left in the fourth. Nice D from Nowitzki. For Dallas, they've gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth.
Oh, tremendous reach on the block by Ariza, making a real effort on defense.
Gordon goes in, lets it go from the wing. It's in!
And this atmosphere is bananas.
Guys separate themselves by how they perform in clutch situations. Give this man his props.
Dallas calls timeout. They trail by 4. There's 39 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Again missing.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Well, not all defenses are constructed to protect the mid-range area. Nicely done that time. Look, he may not be thought of as big for a center, but with his ability to go vertical, he sure plays good.
That's good from Capella.
Wow, and the big man Capella has proven to be a reliable role player, a strong physical presence who takes smart shots and contributes well on D.
Farrell for 3. Rockets with the rebound, and here's Houston. They're on a 17-6 run. Nowitzki for 3. The Mavericks rebound. Farrell kicks to Matthews. Back to Farrell. Offensive rebound. Jacks up a 3. Trifecta! So it's a narrow victory for the Rockets, pulling it out for the W. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds.
Yeah, and for me, Kevin, what stood out is just the overall trust this group has in one another when it matters most. Doing what had to be done and to send these fans home happy.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Hey, James, congrats on the win. Did it feel like the chemistry really got the ball going and got you into a rhythm?
Yeah, just stuck with it. You know, teammates kept encouraging me. I think we kept moving the ball and getting easy shots. They did a great job of looking for me.
You're an easy man to find with the beer, James. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long.